My beloved soul, stop for a moment and listen with your spirit, because this is not a motivational message and this is not something you accidentally pressed on your screen. This is a divine interruption ordered by heaven itself, and if you feel your chest tighten or your heart beat faster right now, that is because God is speaking directly to you about your soulmate, and he does not repeat himself twice when the timing is this precise. There has been a lot happening behind the scenes that you could not see, conversations in the spiritual realm, decisions being finalized, resistance being broken, and delays being lifted, and the reason this message has found you now is because the season of silence is ending. My beloved soul, you have questioned, you have waited, you have tried to let go, and at times you even told yourself that maybe love was not written for you in this lifetime, but heaven heard every quiet prayer you whispered when no one else was listening. God has a powerful message about your soulmate, and he is saying that what felt stalled was never denied, what felt confusing was never rejection, and what felt like distance was preparation. Right now, something is shifting in a way that cannot be reversed, and that is why you are being warned not to ignore this moment. There were times you almost settled, times you almost chose convenience over calling, and times you almost shut your heart completely, but God stepped in when you did not even realize it. He protected you from connections that looked right but carried hidden destruction, and he allowed separations that felt painful but saved your future. My beloved soul, your soulmate has also been on a journey of correction, awakening, and alignment, and heaven has not been idle while you were waiting. There were lessons that had to be learned on both sides, wounds that had to be healed, and patterns that had to be broken so that when you finally meet or reunite, it will not be from desperation but from destiny. This message is not meant to entertain you, it is meant to wake you up, because the next steps require awareness, obedience, and courage. If you have been seeing signs, feeling sudden emotional waves, dreaming vividly, or sensing a pull you cannot explain, that is because the spiritual contract connected to your soulmate is activating. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because heaven is marking a turning point right now. God is saying that the reason it felt like nothing was happening is because everything was happening beneath the surface, and now the unseen is about to become visible. There has been resistance, yes, but it has been broken, and there has been delay, yes, but it was intentional to protect you from meeting too early. Timing matters more than desire, and alignment matters more than emotion. God knows exactly when love will bless you and not break you. My beloved soul, this message is strong because the call on your love life is strong, and what is coming will require maturity, truth, and surrender. You are not being led into confusion, you are being led into clarity. The days of second-guessing your worth are ending, and the days of wondering whether they feel the same are coming to a close. God is working on the heart, the mind, and the courage of your soulmate even now. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because this is not just about romance, this is about purpose, partnership, divine assignment, and covenant alignment. When your paths cross or reconnect, it will not be by accident, and it will not be casual, it will feel heavy because it carries heaven's approval. My beloved soul, you must understand that the reason this message carries urgency is because distraction is the enemy of destiny. The enemy wants you tired, doubting, scrolling past what matters, and numbing your intuition, but God is calling you to attention. This is the season to guard your heart without closing it, to prepare without forcing, and to trust without chasing. You are not meant to run after love. Love is being aligned to meet you. My beloved soul, if you feel resistance to believing this, that resistance is not intuition, it is old disappointment trying to protect you, but protection that blocks blessing is no longer needed. God is saying that the old cycle is done, and you will not repeat the same story with a different face. This connection will feel different because it is different. It will feel peaceful, not chaotic, clear, not confusing, steady, not unstable. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because there is a responsibility attached to what you are about to receive. You must not rush, but you also must not retreat. You must stay present, spiritually awake, and emotionally honest. This is why God is speaking now, before the manifestation, so that you do not sabotage what you prayed for. My beloved soul, this message is also a call to action, not frantic action, but faith action. If this resonates in your spirit, do not stay silent. Type, "I receive," in the comments as a declaration, like this message, and share it as a testimony of trust, because when you respond in faith, you align yourself with what heaven has already approved. This is not about numbers, it is about obedience. God is watching who takes him seriously when he speaks softly but firmly. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because what is coming next is not just confirmation, it is instruction, and instruction always precedes fulfillment. My beloved soul, as this message continues, understand that what God is revealing now goes deeper than surface emotions and temporary longing, because this is about alignment that reshapes your future, not just attraction that excites your present. The silence you endured was not abandonment, it was instruction happening in a language you were not yet ready to interpret. God was teaching you discernment through delay, strengthening your spirit through unanswered questions, and refining your desires so you would no longer mistake intensity for intimacy. There were moments you wondered why connections kept collapsing just when hope began to rise, why conversations faded without explanation, and why people who promised permanence exited so easily. Heaven allowed those endings because your soulmate carries weight, and anything light would have shattered under the responsibility of loving you correctly. Your heart was being trained to recognize safety, consistency, and truth, even when chaos felt familiar. My beloved soul, the person tied to you by destiny has also walked through separation, loss, and inner confrontation, because two unhealed souls cannot carry a holy assignment together. God does not rush covenant, he prepares vessels. Right now, unseen corrections are still taking place, attitudes are being humbled, pride is being dismantled, and fear is being confronted, because love that lasts requires courage more than chemistry. You may feel moments of emotional pressure without knowing why, sudden clarity about what you will no longer tolerate, or an unexpected peace replacing the urge to chase, and that is because your spirit is aligning with what is coming. This is not the season to entertain confusion or resurrect expired attachments, because your discernment has been sharpened for protection. My beloved soul, pause here and listen carefully, do not drift away in thought, because heaven is speaking with precision in this very moment. God is saying that the next connection you experience will not require you to prove your value, compete for attention, or shrink your needs to be chosen. It will feel mutual without manipulation, intentional without pressure, and steady without force. The reason you are being prepared now is because recognition will be instant, but responsibility will follow. Love at this level demands honesty, patience, and emotional maturity, and God will not release it until both hearts can steward it well. You may not see physical movement yet, but spiritual positioning is already complete, and what is aligned in the spirit must eventually manifest in the natural. My beloved soul, there is also a warning woven into this message, not of danger but of distraction. Comfort can delay destiny when it becomes a substitute for calling. God is removing your appetite for temporary fulfillment because what is coming requires clarity of focus. You are being asked to stay emotionally available without being emotionally accessible to what drains you. This balance is not easy, but it is necessary. Heaven trusts you with this next season because you no longer confuse loneliness with love. Stay present with these words, do not scroll away in your spirit, because something sacred is being unfolded layer by layer for you. Your soulmate is not being sent to complete you, but to walk with you in purpose, and that is why God dealt with your identity first. You are no longer the person who begs to be chosen, you are becoming the person who recognizes alignment without anxiety. My beloved soul, there will be no need to rush conversations, force vulnerability, or accelerate timelines, because peace will govern the pace. What is divinely arranged does not need to be chased, it needs to be honored. This is also why past cycles had to end, because you could not carry old emotional debts into a new covenant. Forgiveness was not just for your healing, it was for your future. God has been cleansing your heart so that when love arrives, it finds room, not residue. Do not leave yet in your attention, because heaven has more to reveal about what you are stepping into. There will be moments when you are tempted to doubt again, especially if timing does not match expectation, but remember this, alignment often feels quiet before it becomes visible. God works in patterns of confirmation, not confusion, and what is meant for you will not require you to compromise your peace to keep it. My beloved soul, the reason this message feels weighty is because it carries instruction, not just comfort. You are being guided to trust the process without trying to control the outcome. Control is born from fear, but alignment is sustained by faith. God is not asking you to be passive, He is asking you to be perceptive. Pay attention to how your spirit responds, not just how your emotions react. The coming connection will resonate deeply, not overwhelm you. If you remain with this message until the final revelation unfolds, you will understand why every delay was necessary and why this season will be worth everything you endured. My beloved soul, what unfolds now is not about anticipation but about understanding, because many people desire the promise without comprehending the preparation that makes the promise sustainable. God is revealing that the depth of what is being arranged required stripping away illusions you once held about love. You were taught through experience that attraction without alignment creates exhaustion, that passion without purpose creates instability, and that words without consistency create wounds. Those realizations were not random awakenings, they were divine recalibrations. Heaven was adjusting your internal compass so you would no longer be drawn to what merely feels intense, but to what is rooted, intentional, and spiritually anchored. The love coming toward you carries responsibility, and responsibility requires readiness. That is why God slowed you down when you wanted acceleration and closed doors when you wanted explanations. Silence was doing the work that noise never could. My beloved soul, there is something important you must grasp here. Your soulmate is not entering your life to rescue you from emptiness, but to join you in wholeness. God does not connect broken vessels hoping they will heal each other, He heals vessels so they can pour into one another without depletion. This is why you were led into seasons of solitude that forced self-reflection, boundary formation, and emotional honesty. You learn to sit with your own thoughts, to recognize triggers without reacting, and to release expectations that were rooted in fear rather than faith. That inner work was necessary because the next connection will mirror your inner state. It will reflect stability, not chaos, clarity, not confusion. Stay anchored in this moment and do not let your attention drift, because this revelation carries a layer meant specifically for your discernment. God is saying that recognition will come through peace, not adrenaline, and familiarity will come through alignment, not trauma bonding. If something feels calm rather than consuming, do not mistake that calm for lack of interest. You are being trained to recognize healthy love, not dramatic attachment. My beloved soul, your soulmate has also been undergoing internal restructuring, shedding old identities, confronting unresolved guilt, and releasing patterns that once sabotaged intimacy. Heaven has been meticulous with timing because two evolving souls must reach a compatible frequency before union can occur. Premature connection would have caused misunderstanding, miscommunication, and unnecessary pain. God protects what He intends to preserve. This is why certain meetings were delayed, certain messages were not sent, and certain paths did not cross when you expected them to. Divine restraint is an act of love. Pause here internally and remain receptive, because this is not random insight, this is heaven clarifying the why behind the wait. You are not behind schedule, you are exactly where preparation required you to be. The impatience you once felt has been replaced with discernment for a reason. My beloved soul, there is also a shift happening in how you will communicate when this connection unfolds. You will no longer feel the need to over-explain your feelings or prove your intentions. Mutual understanding will replace guessing games. Emotional safety will allow honesty to flow without fear of abandonment. This is what God has been cultivating, a space where truth can exist without punishment. You are being delivered from cycles where vulnerability was met with withdrawal. That chapter has closed. Do not leave this moment mentally, because heaven is revealing the nature of what is coming, not just the timing. This love will feel anchored in respect. Decisions will be made with consideration, not impulse. Conflict will be addressed with maturity, not avoidance. These qualities are not accidental, they are the fruit of two individuals who allowed God to refine them separately before bringing them together. My beloved soul, there may still be moments when old doubts attempt to resurface, memories of disappointment whispering caution, but discern the difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom guides without paralyzing, fear restricts without reason. God is restoring your ability to trust without losing yourself. That balance is sacred. You will know you are ready because you no longer seek validation to feel secure. You will know they are aligned because their presence will not disrupt your peace. This is not a fantasy, it is a divine standard. Remain attentive, because what is being built now will require patience to recognize and courage to embrace. The unfolding will be gentle but intentional, and when it happens, you will understand why nothing before it could last. My beloved soul, as this revelation deepens, God is drawing your attention to something subtle yet essential, because what is approaching will require spiritual awareness more than emotional excitement. Many miss divine connections not because they are unworthy, but because they are inattentive to how heaven moves. God rarely shouts when he is orchestrating something sacred, he speaks through alignment, timing, and inner knowing. You are being trained to listen differently now. The sensitivity developing within you is not weakness, it is discernment sharpening. You are beginning to notice how certain thoughts no longer linger, how certain desires no longer dominate, and how peace now interrupts patterns that once ruled your decisions. This shift is evidence of preparation. The love God is bringing into your life will not arrive loudly, it will arrive correctly. It will feel intentional rather than dramatic, steady rather than consuming. Heaven is not interested in overwhelming you, it is interested in establishing something that lasts. This is why you have been learning restraint, not suppression, but wisdom in motion. You no longer react to every feeling, you reflect. You no longer chase clarity, you wait for confirmation. These changes did not come naturally, they were taught through experience and refined through surrender. My beloved soul, understand this clearly, the person connected to your destiny will recognize your growth without needing it explained. There will be an unspoken understanding, a mutual respect for boundaries, and an ease that does not require performance. God has been removing the need for you to impress because love rooted in truth does not demand masks. You are being invited into authenticity, and authenticity attracts alignment. Heaven has also been working on timing in ways you cannot see. Schedules are shifting, environments are changing, and paths are quietly converging. What appears ordinary on the surface is carrying divine intention underneath. This is why patience has been emphasized so strongly, because rushing would disrupt the precision of what God is aligning. Pause here in your spirit and remain attentive. Do not rush past this awareness, because this moment carries instruction meant to guard your discernment. The enemy does not always attack by destruction, sometimes it distracts by imitation. Not everything that feels good is God, and not everything that is quiet is delay. You are learning to distinguish between emotional familiarity and spiritual resonance. This skill will protect you when options appear, because there will be opportunities that test your growth. God will allow choices to confirm whether preparation has truly taken root. My beloved soul, there is also a deep reassurance being released now, and it is this: you have not missed your chance. The fear that whispers about lost time or missed windows is not truth. God operates outside human timelines, and what He has ordained cannot be outrun or overlooked. Your journey has been necessary, every detour meaningful, every pause purposeful. The love prepared for you is not fragile, it does not depend on perfect timing from you, it depends on alignment from heaven. Stay present with these words, do not disengage internally, because something important is being sealed within your understanding right now. God is preparing you to receive without suspicion. That may sound small, but it is profound. When love arrives after waiting, the instinct is often to guard too tightly or analyze too deeply. God is healing that reflex. You will still have discernment, but it will no longer be driven by fear. Trust will feel safe again. This is part of the restoration. My beloved soul, the connection coming will invite you into partnership, not pursuit. There will be shared vision, mutual effort, and balanced exchange. You will not feel like you are carrying the emotional weight alone. Decisions will feel collaborative, not one-sided. This is the fruit of divine order. Heaven is aligning two lives that can walk forward together without one diminishing the other. This kind of union requires humility, and God has been cultivating that quietly within you. Pride has been softened, expectations have been refined, and control has been loosened. These internal shifts are significant, even if they felt uncomfortable while happening. Do not leave this moment mentally, because heaven is still revealing the character of what is forming. This love will honor your individuality while nurturing unity. You will be seen without being consumed, supported without being managed. That balance is rare, and it is intentional. My beloved soul, if waves of emotion rise as you hear this, let them pass without resistance. Emotional release is part of readiness. You are shedding old armor that once protected you but is no longer needed. God does not call you to vulnerability without providing safety. The safety will come through alignment, not perfection. You are being led towards something that will feel like home, not because it is familiar, but because it is peaceful. And peace is always heaven's signature. My beloved soul, this final unfolding is not meant to excite your emotions but to settle your spirit, because what God completes, He completes with clarity and peace. Everything you have heard until now has been building toward understanding rather than anticipation, because anticipation looks forward while understanding anchors you in truth. God is closing this message by reminding you that divine love does not arrive to rescue you from life, it arrives to walk with you through it. The journey you traveled was not designed to make you bitter, it was designed to make you discerning. You now carry wisdom that cannot be shaken by temporary feelings or empty promises. That wisdom will be your compass moving forward. You will no longer confuse intensity with intimacy or attachment with alignment. What God has prepared for you will not demand urgency, it will invite intention. It will not pull you out of yourself, it will draw you deeper into who you were always meant to be. My beloved soul, there is a deep settling happening now, and if you feel calm rather than restless, that is confirmation. Heaven is not rushing you because heaven is not unsure. God does not scramble to fulfill promises, He releases them when conditions are right. This connection will unfold naturally, without force, without pressure, without confusion. You will not need to decipher mixed signals or chase consistency. Consistency will be present from the beginning. This is not because people are perfect, but because alignment removes unnecessary struggle. Stay with this moment and do not mentally step away, because heaven is sealing something within your awareness right now. God is saying that when the time comes, you will recognize it not through signs alone, but through peace that feels undeniable. There will be a quiet confidence, a knowing that does not need validation. My beloved soul, the reason this message warned you not to ignore it is because awareness changes how you move. You will approach connections differently now. You will listen more closely to your spirit than to your fears. You will pause where you once rushed and speak where you once stayed silent. This shift matters. It is protection and preparation intertwined. God is also reminding you that love aligned with purpose requires responsibility. You are not entering something casual, you are entering something intentional. That means showing up honestly, communicating clearly, and choosing patience even when emotions surge. Heaven trusts you with this because you have learned restraint without repression. You know how to feel deeply without losing yourself. My beloved soul, there will be moments when old narratives try to resurface, suggesting that happiness is fragile or that good things do not last. Recognize those thoughts as echoes, not truth. They belong to seasons that have already ended. God has rewritten the pattern. What is coming is not built on instability, it is built on mutual respect, shared values, and spiritual grounding. This is not fantasy, it is order. Remain present with these words, because heaven is not just encouraging you, it is instructing you. When love arrives, move slowly, speak honestly, and trust peace more than excitement. Excitement fades, peace endures. My beloved soul, the final reassurance God is offering you is this: you are not late, you are not forgotten, and you are not overlooked. Divine timing does not operate on comparison or urgency. What is meant for you has been preserved, protected, and prepared. No one else can take what is assigned to you, and nothing can arrive prematurely when God is involved. This truth is meant to quiet every lingering doubt. Do not leave this moment in your spirit yet, because heaven is closing this message with intention. You are stepping into a season where alignment will feel natural, where effort will be mutual, and where love will feel like partnership rather than pursuit. This is the outcome of surrender, growth, and patience. My beloved soul, receive this not as a prediction but as direction. Walk forward with openness, wisdom, and trust. What God has spoken will unfold in its time, and when it does, you will recognize it not because it is loud, but because it feels right. This is where the message ends, not in suspense, but in certainty. Type Amen.